The love of her life was finally confessing everything to her, and she couldn't believe what he had done. She was completely blindsided by it. The signs were there all along, but she ignored them. Thinking about what happened only made her feel even more foolish for not seeing it all sooner. When Lana Christensen decided to marry her boyfriend, Rob Green, it was a whirlwind romance. Sure, they had their differences. She loved pink and purple, he loved blue. She dreamed of owning a black '69 Chevy Camaro. He was a truck guy. Their differences aside, Lana had always completely trusted Rob. But now, she wasn't sure she could anymore. Moving in together had started well. A two-bed place at the Orchid Gardens apartment complex in California wasn't cheap. Lana, being a web designer, and Rob, a marketing specialist, made it affordable though. Lana was ecstatic when Rob agreed to move there. The only problem, just one bathroom. Initially, she was fine with this. After the first month, she knew something was wrong. The couple each had office jobs, but had both been working from home recently. This extra time spent together required a lot of mutual compromises. Rob had always been well-groomed and hygienic, something Lana appreciated. Lately, he had been spending 45 minutes extra in the bathroom each morning though. Lana soon learned that he had a secret reason for this. At first, Lana thought he was just losing track of time. Soon, he began staying in the bathroom longer and longer, sometimes more than an hour. During their dating years, Rob never locked the door when he needed the bathroom. These days, however, he never failed to lock it, and Lana was beginning to wonder why. She tried to forget about it, but Rob's mysterious bathroom time soon began to bug her. Gently bringing it up one day, he nonchalantly brushed it off. Saying that he was just having tummy problems, Rob quickly changed the subject. Still, something about the way he shuffled and looked nervous as he spoke drove Lana crazy. Initially accepting his story, her suspicions were reignited when it occurred to her that she never seemed to hear the toilet flush. There were other clues too. Rob always forgot the air freshener if he used the bathroom at other times of day, but his morning bathroom rituals were always odorless. Lana was now convinced that he was hiding something. Noticing Rob always took his phone inside, Lana questioned him. He became upset and accused her of acting crazy. Pretending to drop it, she resolved to keep digging. Lana had to find out the truth. She took her concerns to Reddit to see if others thought she was crazy. Surely, her husband's time in the bathroom wasn't normal. Frustrated and suspicious, Lana explained the situation. And here's where I know I really start to sound nuts. I have to go in after him, and a lot of time it doesn't even smell. Zero evidence that he was using the facilities. Am I being reasonable, or am I leaning more towards crazy, overbearing wife? But the replies that came flooding in did nothing to calm her fears. That sounds excessive. Is he reading? Needs a quiet place. If it really takes him that long, he needs to start taking fiber twice daily. Or see a doctor. Something is up. One Redditor replied. Lana's heart plummeted as she read all the replies. Apparently, Lana's problem with her husband's excessive bathroom time was an unsettlingly common one. This is the key right there. My husband bathroom camps too and always has. He will swear up and down that it just takes a really long time sometimes, and maybe sometimes there is some truth to it. Another Reddit user wrote, "But I'll tell you what, if I pick the lock and snatch his phone, he's finished in 10 minutes or less every time." And one possible solution to Lana's problem came up again and again. Disconnect the Wi-Fi and see if that speeds things up, another user suggested. But before Lana could consider doing it, all her worst fears were confirmed by her husband himself. Everything was about to come to a head, and Lana was about to discover that her husband's access to Wi-Fi wouldn't solve the problem. One user's reply chilled Lana to the bone. Her husband's behavior was a massive red flag. "My ex was cheating on me, and I started getting suspicious when he'd go to the bathroom about 4 times a night. It was because he could lock the door and message her in peace without worrying about me walking in. I hate to be this person, but your whole post just rang massive alarm bells for me." Lana's head was swimming with everything she'd read online. Could he be trying to escape her by playing games on his phone? Or is it more nefarious? The next morning, she distinctly heard Rob speaking on the phone. Listening at the bathroom door had become an unwanted routine. What she heard shocked her. Rob was speaking to a woman named Jessica. Lana was immensely hurt and disappointed, but knew she needed proof or Rob would just deny everything. The next time he went into the office for a meeting, she bought a hidden camera. Installing it in the handle groove of their bathroom mirror, she could now finally see what Rob got up to in the bathroom each day. The camera revealed Rob took short showers but spent the rest of the time sitting on the toilet and using his phone, always texting and making calls. Discovering that Rob also stashed a little notepad behind the mirror, Lana checked it and was crushed. It was worse than she imagined. Rob was seeing more than one woman behind her back. Reminders like Thursday 1 p.m., meet Jessica at Radisson, and 10 a.m., lunch. Kristen, Capri restaurant jumped out at her. Lana was heartbroken. Worse still, it was their first anniversary the next day. Rob told her to dress her best. Lana planned to confront him that very night and make him confess. Feeling resentful, she decided to play along, for now. Reaching the surprise destination, blindfolded as Rob had requested, Lana's mind was still seething. Finally there, blindfold lifted, Lana stood inside the Radisson's Capri restaurant, friends and family yelling, "Surprise!" The room was awash with beautiful pink and purple decor, and a large banner proclaimed, "Happy anniversary, my love." Beaming proudly, Rob finally confessed, "I've been planning this all month." Bathroom time turned out to be Rob's secret way of planning the surprise anniversary party. He had secretly been meeting with Jessica, the party planner, and Kristen, the decorator, all month long to ensure that every detail was just right. Just when Lana thought nothing could make the night more perfect, Rob had one last surprise up his sleeve. The setting was perfect with a pool view. Celebrating her marriage with Rob, her closest friends and family, was everything Lana could have wished for. After slow dancing to their favorite love song, Rob made a heartwarming speech. As he ended with the words, "One last surprise," the sound of a car engine revving loudly outside rang out. It was so loud it filled the entire room. Rob smiled, took Lana's hand, and told everyone to follow him outside. There it stood, a gleaming black '69 Chevy Camaro, Lana's dream car since childhood when her late father had owned one himself. A valet jumped out and handed Lana the key. Rob simply smiled and said, "It's yours." Fortunately for Lana, the reason her husband was hiding in the bathroom was to plan something nice for her. Unfortunately, a lot of women find out that their husbands are chatting to other women online or trying to escape parental duties when they take unusually long bathroom breaks. Reddit is a repository for dozens of these shocking stories. One woman revealed that her husband would spend up to 4 hours a day in the bathroom. She reached the end of her tether when he disappeared into the men's room while they were having dinner at a restaurant. Before he went, I gently reminded him that we were at a restaurant, therefore he shouldn't take too long inside the restroom, she explained. After 30 minutes, the couple's food arrived at the table. Worried that he was taking so long, the wife called her husband on his phone. When he didn't answer, she even went into the men's bathroom to see if he was okay. He called out that he'd just be a minute. But that minute turned into another 20 minutes. The wife decided to start eating without him. By the time the woman finished her meal, there was still no sign of her husband. She was upset, so she tried to call him one more time, but he hung up on her. Fed up, she asked the waitress to split the bill and left. When she recounted her story on Reddit, everyone clapped back. He's not being 100% honest with you, and you should not have to be forced to sit in a restaurant for 40+ minutes waiting for him to finish using the restroom.